Alright, so we're about to hike up some of Berkeley's paths and stairways, and I figured I'd give you a starting reference point for locals. Down below there is Spruce. I'm about a block north of Rose. Let the car go by. About a block north of Rose is Glen, which we turned up Glen, and now we're walking up Glen. And I'm noticing there is 2-hour parking here on Glen that in the daytime looks relatively empty. Along Spruce it's kind of hard to find parking. You could also take a bus or just walk depending on where your starting point is. And really just the architecture and the people's gardens everywhere are so beautiful. It's nice. Alright, we'll check back in when we get to one of the pathways. It's going to be just up the road here a little bit. Okay, if you're driving, you might want to just either continue up Glen to Eunice, or maybe even just take Spruce to Eunice. You know, Eunice is another through street. You could take Shattuck to Eunice and come up here. The Rose Garden is right up that way, and obviously there's plenty of parking here. Because that's always an issue, or you can get a bus to right here. But we're gonna continue on up Glen. So another starting point would be Eunice at Glen, and just keep going north on Glen. Okay, so just up at the end of Glen, we come up to the Oak Street path. It was only about half a block from where we just were, and now we're heading up. It's pretty nice. Be nice. Don't stare into people's yards. Everybody's got nice gardens and everything, but we'll just look at what they put right along the path for us. And we just went from, I don't know, a pretty dense inner city neighborhood to, you can see, if you're walking from downtown, we've already come uphill quite a bit, and we're gonna keep going up we go. Now this is a fairly short section. It's actually someone's driveway there. Some of these paths are kind of part of a driveway, and now we're back at we're on Oak Street, and that's Laurel. And I'm going to keep it running so you can see it's not very far to that. I mean, we just left the path. And now we are rejoining the Oak Street path. And you can get a pretty good look at the whole path right here, as this will connect us over to Euclid. And again, Euclid, well, maybe you can find parking, maybe you can't, but that's another. There are places to park, and there are paths along Euclid. This is just pretty fantastic, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna go out to the street and figure out where the next path is. So the path came out down there. We're going up Euclid, had to cross the street, going up Euclid. Yeah, I guess if you wanted, you could come up here and park too, or take a bus up to here. There's buses that go up along Euclid. There's a bus stop right there, or just walk like I did. And just up around the bend here is where we start to really hit the pathways. You can just see the sign for one of them, which we will probably take down. Let's see if I can zoom in and maybe you can actually The little sign is that dark spot right above the truck. We're gonna walk past that path to the next path. And still, as you can see, even though this is a walk through some fairly dense neighborhood in the hills, it's not unpleasant. Okay, we'll check back in when we get to the next path. Oh, I can see it already. So, to give you an idea of how far, right there. See that little sign? That's our pathway that we're heading to. And that's where we came from. So, you know, you're talking, I don't know, a few hundred yards on the street, and we're back to the paths here. Alright, I'll show you when we get there. Okay, so here we are at Euclid and El Mirador. And get a view out there, but the sun is wrecking it. You know, lots of people bicycling and jogging up the hill on the road. And this one's not too steep. A little bit. They're all steep. Don't kid yourself. But this one, a lot of them are worse. Really nice though. See this? Redwoods. We're gonna be kind of quiet because people live here. We'll be respectful of their homes. Oops. Wow. Here come the stairs. I guess the residents wanted to spruce it up for us a little bit. Look at this, we got some little statues. A few more neat things along here. Yeah, El Mirador is a steep one. And like many of them, it has more than one part. That was part one. Now we're on Keith. You can see these houses are very nice. Bottle brush. Look at that giant rose. All the way up the so here is Keith and Mirador, and oh, gonna trip over a rock. Lots of redwoods. Some of them are stone. Some of these things are wood, like this one. Some are just paths. Twists and turns. Alright, we're at Cragmont and El Mirador. Alright, so we came up just down at the end there. And yeah, I'm trying to make this into a nice loop, short loop that anyone could do. And if I go up any further, it's going to take me way up and around, and involves a lot of more streets than I want to try to describe. And basically, you can figure it out for yourself. It's the idea here is get you to come up and try some different ones. But I mean, even these parts that are on the road. So I'm going right up here to Martinez Path and then down. Well, that wasn't very far. It's right here. We were just right over there. Now, see, normally I take a slightly different route. One that starts a little further north and goes all the way up to the top and then comes down this way. But I wanted to make this film so that some of the local people could see what they're missing if they haven't been out here. This is so nice. So this is Martinez Path dropping off of Cragmont. I made it to Redwood Terrace. The streets are narrow. You have to watch out. Cars do come through here, but it was only a couple hundred feet down the road, and now we can just drop back down Redwood Terrace. That's the name of this one. It's afternoon, so the sun is shining right on us, but I can get a view of the bay and Mount Tamalpais out in that blurry white spot. Yeah. And the route I took was definitely the easier one. This is the steeper way up. So now we're going to be back down at Euclid. I would definitely suggest getting the Berkeley Paths and Walkways map. You can get it at the hardware store, you can get it online. The new one has little check mark boxes. You can mark off which paths you did. Here's the map. I love this thing. It's a lot of fun to have, even if, I mean, you can use your phone, but this is just kind of makes it a little more plain of what's what. I don't know, yeah, get out there. There's 136 of different pathways and staircases in Berkeley. So if you live here or near here, you should check them out. You'll enjoy it. All right. So I went south on Euclid. It's kind of a busy street, so forgive the noise, but this is worth doing because, first of all, there's a park all on the right side. There is actually a path that comes down through the park if you wanted to have come that way on Cragmont. And then we're at the Rose Garden, which isn't a bad place to stop or start. Okay, here's a slightly wider view. Definitely worth checking out. I'm planning on going back here in the next day or two because it is actually like prime rose time right now. Although with the drought, they don't look super bloomy down there. They're getting there. They do look good out here. I mean, this rose garden is amazing. It's worth seeing if you haven't. Yeah, most people in town already know about it, I'm sure. One of the things that's going on though is 2 or 3 years ago they cut the roses were getting so big they cut them all way down, and so they haven't all quite come back yet, but they're getting there and they're gonna be better than ever. the ones that are coming back, you can see they're really thick. Really, I'd need a better camera to video anything worth seeing down there. I take pictures sometimes, but this video is just to show you a loop of the pathways. But point being, if you are on doing this walk, that's a great place to stop, take a rest. There's a restroom, water fountain, all that kind of stuff down there. And we're going to continue up here, and I'm going to show you one more pathway in just a second. Oh, let's just take a look at the edge of the rose garden here. This is just sort of parkland and part private. Beautiful. Well, I kind of spooked it, but there's a deer. We often see them right on the roads and in the neighborhoods and stuff. I mean, those are, well, this is the edge of water company land. Or no, this is the pathway into the school, and the deer is just walking around, and that's somebody's backyard. So yeah, the deer, we see them everywhere. They are just, they come down out of the hills. I don't know if you can still see it in there, but yeah, it's just kind of hanging out. Oh, it's got its little spot in the fence where it knows where to go. Let's see here. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So we're just a little ways past the rose garden. That is the reservoir area. Directly past that big pergola over there is the park. It's basically behind the pergola is a big water tank for water storage. And across the street here is Rose Walk on Euclid, and this one is just one of the really grand entryway, one of the early ones that was built to be nice. And we're gonna go up ahead, and we've got one more for you up ahead. So this is Vine Lane. It's actually a bus stop here. It was, I mean, it might be a quarter mile to the park up there. It's not that far of a walk down, but it is, this street's kind of busy. But this last one I wanted to show you because Vine Lane has a little light and steel letters, and this will drop us down where you are. This will take us down most of the steep part, or it'll take you up most of the steep part depending on which way you're going. As you can see, it's just really nice. So after this we'll be down in North Berkeley. That'll be about it. So hopefully if you're too far away, well, you just enjoyed it, and if you're nearby, hopefully this gets you to come and try out some of these paths. Like I said, see, I'm not pointing the camera into people's yards to be respectful, but you can obviously look at them a little bit, and you're going to see all kinds of neat gardens and flowers everywhere. And one more, because these roses are just exploding. I wanted to show you. Now we get back down at Vine and Spruce, and just everywhere the roses. Yeah, it's just so nice. As you can see, it's pretty steep, so we get a pretty good hike in here. So bring twice as much water as you think you need. You know, I do this all the time, so that was pretty quick. You know, if you're not used to it, you will need to prepare. But if you do it, you will get used to it and improve really fast. It's amazing after like 2 or 3 times how much easier this gets, and so much more fun than a stupid Stairmaster in a gym or something like that. Now get out there. And you know, if you're making videos yourself, might notice I didn't spend a whole lot of, I mean, partly, God only knows what my hair looks like, how ridiculous. But I'm not gonna hike like this. I don't think you really, you know, if you want to see what's behind me, I'll show it to you. You can hear me. And, you know, do you really want, hey, you want me taking up the screen, or you want to see what we're supposed to be looking at here? So, you know, try to keep that in mind when you're making a video. I don't know. Yeah, get out there, do something. I mean, I'm finding this, at least this, I'm lucky. This is good preparation for our hikes in the mountains coming up. Well, now I'm down to 2 weeks. I should be out in Yosemite, so hopefully I'll have some fun videos from there. And I'm gonna really try and get a better camera, get full HD for you guys. I know this is only 720. Sorry about that. And for everyone else, also keep in mind on these hikes in the hills, you're gonna get a lot of nice bay views. It's just I'm running this in the afternoon when the light is coming from the west, so it's keeping the paths lit up. I want the paths to be lit up for you to see them, but I don't want. So, but it means we lose the view of the bay. It just gets washed out by the sun. But in person, you could see the bay out there. I mean, I can almost see it even here. Now I'm almost back down to Shattuck. If you like food and coffee and stuff, you know, you're in the gourmet ghetto, so get whatever you want here. I'm just gonna walk home. All right, see you later.